How's it going? Yeah, we're out in the woods. It's beautiful scenery, isn't it? I mean, it looks gorgeous, all the green. Um, I actually want to talk to y'all about the P resident. It was said that he is not a war-mongering P resident, okay? And yes, I'm talking in code, y'all. A slight code. Um, well, what happened with that? Well, what happened with that? Do you realize who that really is? Okay, I'm in America, so you got to know who I'm talking about. Hamster hairstyle piece. Um, I call him Rumpty. Okay. Uh, it's not hard to figure out who it is, but y'all noticing stuff that's going on, or have you been too busy watching all the news stuff so that you're just been gaslit the whole time? Because wasn't he the one that said fake news media? Like they told on themselves ahead of time. That's what they do. Um, they say whatever they can to get people, pulled to their side and backing them and all this stuff until, then it really comes out. So if you have Freemasons, Illuminati, and you may be like, oh, that just isn't real and all this stuff. Well, what do you say about Hitler? Okay, there was Operation Paperclip. That's part of the CIA program. If there is good CIA, I don't know. Okay, but I know there's bad CIA. All right. Um, your government is definitely, absolutely run by a shadow government. So you have to use, some discernment, intuition. You need your chakras healed and working. But this, when these people are doing like dark magic, and sacrificing animals and sick things like attacking people. Okay, let me just tell you a little bit of what I've been through. I've sat here and reported. I can't tell you. I was here before and reported, what's gone on, but they don't listen to me because, well, you're not from this area, so, we trust the people have been here for a while. Well, that's the problem. That's the problem. What was it about John Wayne Gacy? He was, considered a pillar of the community. Just because you've known someone for a while, that doesn't mean that oh, they're fine. We ain't got no problem with them. Those are the ones you need to be, aware of. If you have intuition, discernment, you will see things that you normally wouldn't see. But, I've been attacked voraciously, stolen, kidnapped, sold, whatever it was exactly. It's, kind of depends on who you're speaking to, what it is, okay? But when they do that and you're a baby, okay, and you're in a family, it's not your family. They're like hiding you so that they can, siphon money, steal. They'll put recorders on you. They'll find out what it is you don't want and do the exact opposite of that. And then they want to make like a movie out of it. Plus, they do that. There's something called remote viewing where they, they're tapping in to get into someone else's, dreams and stuff like that. And they're trying to do Freddy Krueger to you. But they're, they want to mess with you and your dreams to try and scare you. But, when you put someone through so much shit, like Job looks like patty cake compared to what they've done to me and God knows who else, okay? That's my point. I'm not the only one. You become desensitized to it. You just, keep going. What else can you do? They think that they're scaring me, but it's not being scared. They're out to dehydrate. They use poisonous plants as well as poisons. They've tried them all on me, okay? God knows what they've done to other people. But it's about them, they have an insurance policy. Anything they can do to get money. These are people that, you have to really think about this, y'all. What do you put first, money or life? Would you, if you have bills to pay and you might lose things, but would you help someone that needed help? They may be on their last, everything. Maybe their last breath. It may be their last, day or days here, who knows? I've been severely dehydrated and blood sugar issues, which you get hot and cold from the, it's the dehydration, the blood sugar dropping, going up, dropping, going up, dropping, going up. That's That's the worst thing you can go through. And I've been speaking this out to people. I've said it to the police, because I've had the police sent after me just constantly, and they'll come after me. Like, because this is someone that stole someone. There's actually, it's a group. Stole, home from me, land from me, inheritance from me. I mean, this has just been an ongoing thing. They're just, woo, they're partying it down, taking everything, laughing how they can do it. They've stolen cars from me. I haven't had a car since, I mean, I can't totally remember exactly when it was, but somewhere around 2002, 4, somewhere around there. Yeah, maybe 4. Anyway, it's been a long ass time. Is that fair to do that to someone, to keep someone from having any possible way of earning money, to damage their limbs, to, they do like voodoo and witchcraft. I didn't even think that stuff was real, but I didn't know why I was going through the things I was going through. But if you're, feeding someone poisons in their food, their drink, yeah, I've been noticing things about what people who was involved, and I'll say things sometimes to, how can I put it, kind of get to the bottom of things, all right? And sometimes I think it's just kind of the being dehydrated and low blood sugar. Oh, let me show you something. See, they've done it again where they've had to run me off. Oh, you get into a hotel, you have money, but then all of a sudden, no more money. Because they use these businesses and everything. I still have a certain big ass store, with blue and yellow, and some people might refer to it as like a Wally of a certain kind of world that owes me money. If you order something, well, they got to hold back so much money for that order, and we just don't happen to have this in stock, and we're still holding that money though. And I can't tell you how many times I ordered from them. They never return that money. They do this stuff on purpose because they're doing everything they can to leave you broke, so you got no way to do anything. So they can, they're trying to force people into doing what they want. They want to take everything away from you. The people that can't buy or sell. The New World Order, y'all. And this has been going on for a long time. People seem to be oblivious to this. This happens. People, look at what's happened to so-and-so. That's sick. That's sick if you want harm done to people. But whatever you put out there, universal law, it's coming back to you. That's what terrified these people, right? So they've done all this like death magic, like they're calling on certain entities or something, and if they don't like deliver something what they promised them, then they'll it's like them, they don't get what they want, it's them. So what do they do to handle that? They look for a way to get sacrifices done. And what's going on here, oh, I'm not about war, so-called P resident. Do you understand that this is about sacrifice for what they've done? That they're trying to keep this off of their tail. Give karma to someone else so they don't have to deal with it. No, absolutely not. Just because something's in another country and you're, the news, fear of missing out, I gotta watch the news, which remember, it's fake news media, y'all. And it truly is. Just look at some of the things I've talked about on my channel. Like who my mother is and my real mother, my aunt is my real mother. I was put with the person I was told was my dad, but he's not my dad. He's Uncle Creepy, okay? And what do you think that means? Yeah, he's a molester, pedophile. These people do the sickest of things, and, it's about control. Everything's about control. And when you tell the police you're filing human trafficking, it's not the first time I've done it, and they're going to sit there and tell me, no, that's where you have to be held down and forcibly raped. No, it's not. It's about slavery. What do you think it is to take away a person's, ability to have any money coming in? It's about trying to force that person into going to the person that has the money because they stole it from me. That's the reason they've got money. All right? They're a group of them that have done this. But I'm supposed to go to them and do what they want. I mean, they were talking about this 764, whatever that is, or whatever, and the things that they do to get people to do things. This is your Illuminati, Freemason, Eastern Stars. I don't care if you believe it or not. It's still there. And when you believe something for a long time, they lie to you for a long time, well, it's harder for the brain to accept it. Okay? So, they do what they do. But you were told, we were all told, that, oh, this is the PSP resident. He's a fucking monster. That is Hitler. You know, there's a song called Hitler Only Had One Ball. Well, there are people that wear masks, okay? Did you not get a big introduction to that with the person that came out, you know, acting like they were Jim Carrey, but it wasn't? He's wearing a mask. But there's people that wear a mask. That one was pretty obvious. But there's people wearing a mask and they have it done up well, and you've been watching it for so long, you wouldn't know it. So the P resident in this land, okay? That's White Rapper Boy. Go look in my post. You'll see that picture. It just happened to be in my feed. It was White Rapper Boy and Rumpty right there. And look at the nose, the cheekbones. My nose is still red. Like Rudolph. That's funny. Anyway. Yeah, these people will call me every damn thing that they are. You know, those are the people that are projecting. They're doing everything they can to get rid of their karma. It's how they operate. There are people that know this, and there are people that are left in the dark. They're watching the news every day. They're part of the bread and circus, you know. Watch the sports, you know, we're into sports. We got to fight each other and compete over what team. That's stupid. It's stupid. They fix that stuff, you know. You gamble over it, well, it's fixed. Why would you do that? It's a matrix. It's all bullshit. It's illusion. My mother supposedly died. It was a fake death, you know, but that was under like a pen name. You know, you ever heard of Manson? Manson didn't do those things. They destroy lives and they don't fucking care. Manson didn't do those things. I don't know about Epstein. I mean, maybe he did other things because they drugged him before. Who knows? I mean, I don't know. But that's their goal, is to get people on drugs, to destroy lives so they can point their fingers and say, so-and-so did it, when it was them. You know. Why do you think John Wayne Gacy hung around the police? So he could project and tell them who's doing what, and it was his victims who was hurting. You know, you need your chakras healed so that you can see clearly everything, have that intuition, that inner knowing. God is very important, and people, even these people, know that God can punish you. They're terrified. They're trying to get out of it. They will sacrifice animals, they will sacrifice people, and not give a shit. And they'll call it, you know, well, this is another country, they don't speak the same language as us, so we can lie all day about it. Government-controlled TV. If you don't believe it's not controlled, I mean, come on, y'all. The shadow government is running everything. They steal, kill, and destroy. It's been going on for a long time. Operation Paperclip is where they brought those people that were involved, you know, the Gestapo and Hitler and all those people. Brought them over to America so they could, you know, work together. And see, White Rapper Boy, he molested me. Popped up in mask as this person, but I'm being poisoned, roofied, and everything else. But yeah, I know that, you know, I was about like 13 and 15, and he only has one ball. So did Hitler. So I don't know if you understand, when someone says a past life, that's just referring to their descendant. The person that was, you know, the people that were prior to him. But you will literally show up with the same pattern, same characteristics. Now I can tell you who this was in the past, y'all. You ever heard of Caligula Caesar, and his best little friend Nero? Yeah, that's who. John Knox, Rasputin, same one. Okay, that's, you know, the one that wrote the Geneva Bible. And there was a half brother to Mary Queen of Scots that was just a snake. Isn't that interesting that Rumty does that snake poem all the time? But yeah, you'll notice people that are, forced outside, no one gives a shit. No, we're not helping you because, we heard the slander campaign, smear campaign, whatever you call it. But that's what narcissists do. And they're sitting there believing the lies instead of relying on their intuition. If you tell someone a lie over and over and over again, it's, eventually they're going to believe it. If they don't learn how to walk away, turn that off. That's a narcissist word salad. You need to be paying attention, but you also need to be healed. If you're constantly watching that stupid TV, then you're falling into that illusion that they're feeding you. Okay? I mean, I had to move out here, literally, to the woods. I'm about to show you. Gosh. There's trees everywhere. But when you have people doing everything they can to dehydrate you, I don't know if you can see that clearly. It's a pretty bad bruise. Where is the sun? It's like all yellow and green right here. I don't know if you can see it or not. I can't see it. I don't see real good. That's the other problem. If you're dehydrated and blood sugar issues, it can go to where you can't see that good. That's really bad. But I have fallen so much out here, which that's what happens. You will fall, and you will fall. You will have, some issues with your thinking process because of being so dehydrated and attacked. These people don't want you to eat. I can't tell you how many times, I get in a hotel, finally get somewhere I can stay. I get some food, I'm like, oh God, I'm finally gonna be able to eat and heal and get to feeling better. But no, they're gonna attack. You order food, you do something, they're gonna attack. They're gonna do everything they can to siphon and take away whatever money you have, because they're out to force you to turn to them for help, because no one else is gonna help you. The law officials don't, they listen to the lies because, oh, well, they're from this area. Well, that don't mean jack shit. That should be a bigger reason that you look. When someone tells you something, to any law official, they report something, it's a report. If they do it just with their mouth, people that have autism have trouble with their forms because we're like, what does that mean? Because it can mean multiple things. It's not someone that's stupid or ignorant, because, that's what they like to call autistic savants. They're not ignorant. They're not stupid. They're looking at as, well, it can mean all these different things. I would have that problem in school. I'd be like, well, which answer is the right answer? Because out of your multiple choice, there's at least two that are the right answers. I'd have to sit there and explain it to them because they didn't see it that way. It's literally left brain logic, and then the right brain is your spiritual, creative side. That's why everything is done the way that it is, so that you don't have that spiritual side to see. They can't stand that. They don't need people seeing. And what I mean by that is seeing more into something, not just this logical crap. You've got to look at things with logic and with the spiritual, creative, which is the right side of the brain, which is when you're in nature, guys. That's what you get from nature and animals. And what is it they say about people that kill animals, y'all? What is it they say about them? They end up what? A lot of them end up serial killers. You kill, hurt, maim something, you are taking on that negativity. So if someone is doing a I keep saying slander, I guess smear campaign. Smear campaign, it's really both. But a smear campaign on someone and you believe it and it's wrong, well, then you've now incurred karma with those people that have the karma. Do you understand and see why they do it? It's why they do it, I mean, my stalkers, they're all over the, what do you call that? The online bullying. I've been bullied my whole life. I have never known what it's like to not be bullied. I wonder what that's like. But when I see someone get bullied, that was a problem. I used to get right in it, I can't stand that kind of a thing. When it's someone who's truly vulnerable, not fake vulnerable, That's, but you have people that will do whatever it is to keep their little, how can I put it, wage slave cage earner job or place to live or whatever, and not tell, not speak, not do, hear no evil, speak no evil, say no evil. So these people clam the fuck up so they can keep where they're at, keep their job, whatever it is, instead of doing the right thing. The reason the evil exists because we have people that aren't doing the right thing. It's, thank God, really? You can't do this. You must stand up to oppression. I mean, I've done some videos where I was, I'm very dehydrated now. I need food now. But I need food, I need water, and here's the thing. Tell me why in these water bottles that they don't have salt in it, or it's a rarity, like if you were to really test it. Why is that a rarity? Because you get dehydrated if you're not having salt. We have people that, oh, no salt. Well, you're fucking dehydrated. This is about wanting to save people, even if it takes some harsh words to get people to wake the fuck up. It's just true. Who do you think are put outside and have nothing? They have, they're just fucking dehydrated to the point that they eventually have blood sugar problems. I mean, even these hotels, are you not supposed to tithe 10%? Why do you go to church and tithe there instead of you have real world people that need help right in fucking front of you and you don't tithe? They could tithe, hotel room or something like that when they see that someone is really struggling and like it's not their fault. When do people wake up to what's really going on? Or would you rather just, well, everybody's attacking, let's jump in, dog pile. Dog is God backwards. Not talking about dogs, but look at things differently. Really look at things differently. Look at the words. Religion is religion. Tell lie vision, television. Tell lies to your vision. Programs are programming you. They program people in the schools, the colleges, the fraternities and all that stuff. That is Freemasonry, y'all. It's part of the club. And they need people in it so they can use them. There's lots of them that they use. And if you become any certain part of their group, it's because there's something about you that they can use, steal, whatever. It makes no sense. This is a group that must be ended. Okay? I don't know if it's 764 or 746. I think it's 764. But they do like online bullying. Who do you think is doing that? Who do you think? Freemasons, Eastern Stars, of course. But watch some of my videos because you'll find out a lot about, Epstein. Who's Epstein? That's actually Uncle Creepy. I don't know about the one they go call Epstein, but I don't know about him personally, but I'm talking about the one that literally has that Epstein penis problem. Go look up King Ferdinand VII. I've always been like a person that loved certain things about history, and well, when you see these people, their characteristics, their patterns, it's like a tiger can't change its stripes. Narcissists can't change their patterns, okay? How many people are in front of you are like the same person, you just don't even know it. Because that's, I call them, what do I call it? What is that damn movie? Catch Me If You Can. That's what I like to call White Rapper Boy. But that's, my half-brother. And his mom and dad are brother and sister. It's pretty sick. But, I've gone through such a period of time to realize that, because my uncle is way older than my mother. Like, I don't know, it's like 12 years or something. But my uncle's like the oldest in the family. And the monster of the family. What do you think he did to all of them? He's a pedophile. It was about control. That's a horrible thing to do to someone. Put your hands on a child. That's the worst thing you can do to someone. How many people need healing from that and maybe don't even know that happened? But it's how they control people. This is why the healing is important. Energy, frequency, vibration. Nikola Tesla. You need to look in this stuff, and when you finally can grasp it, when you have that right side of the brain working, it changes everything. You're seeing things differently. You see what's said in the Bible differently. Things will come much clearer, but it does depend upon your experiences that you've been through. We have people that believe this and this and this and this, but they've only been through so much, or they haven't been through this part of it, whereas one person knows one, or these people know more because they're in this family, and, you know. Do you realize who Lucifer is? Lucifer is the P resident, Rumpty. You know, Hitler only has one ball. I mean, if it ain't true, we'll go check him. Go check him. He can't hide that. These people are people that have, you know, massive sex addictions. And yep, they were probably molested, you know. But you don't, there's no excuse for putting your hands on a child, for putting your hands on someone that does not want you to. That you have to drug them, poison them, give them something that makes them not remember so that you can take control of them. That's called monsters. You know, Captain Caveman. They're, you know, I see dead people that don't know they're dead. You know, zombie apocalypse. Well, they're all around. If one does not have love in their heart, they're just a clanging cymbal. There's so much music out there, it literally is just a clanging cymbal. They use demons and entities to steal, you know, with the remote view and all this stuff, and by torture, to steal words and lyrics and like what's happened to someone. They steal the story and they put it out there as their story. Well, I mean, if that's your story, you're like, what the hell's going on? Like, why is this happening? You know, do I know these people? Did I go to school with them? How do they know these things? Stuff like that. I mean, how many of you are awake enough and aware enough to start noticing that about people are like stealing you? Remember, what was it? I can't remember, it was Jeffrey Dahmer or Ted Bundy. I think it was Jeffrey Dahmer, but wasn't his thing to drill holes in people's skull to pour poison in so he could have sex slaves? That's, you know, a deviant. And that comes from generational curses and all kinds of things. So the way to get out of it is you have to come to God. Repentance to God is literally, you know, you're out in the woods and no one else is around. You sit there and get down on your knees and, oh God, I'm so sorry. What have I done? Or, you know, please forgive me of sins known and unknown. God knows if you're very sincere in your heart. Even if you're not, you say it and you keep working on it and stop doing the bad things you're doing. The point in the matter of this is whatever frequency that you vibe at. So like if you're one of these human traffickers that you think it's, you know, your right to just take over someone against their will, even forcing them into a job against their will, even if it's not, you know, having anything to do with sex. But you're forcing them because they feel they have no other choice. They're forced to feel this. They're forced to go through this. Force is wrong. It's against their will. Anything like that. That is human trafficking. It's force, and it's about slavery. I mean, that's what slavery is force. Do you understand this? Okay? So when you wake up and you really start realizing what's happened, what's occurred, who was behind it, then you start looking at things differently. You won't putting all the blame on yourself. You'd be looking at the fucking monsters who've been in control, and everyone's like, woohoo! It's until they wake up and realize, oh God. But whatever frequency that you are vibing at, if you're one of these monsters, you know, you sacrifice animals, you sacrifice people, whether it's slow sacrifice to keep taking from them, or, you know, immediate sacrifice, whether murdering them, anything like that, you're like, you know, where they're drinking blood, stuff like that, and you think they don't do that? Please, go check the meat and stuff like that you people are eating. Go check it, see if there's any human remains. in there. Like if there's anything to do with human in it. I'm sorry to tell you that. I'm sorry, not sorry. You need to know the truth. You want to just keep eating it, and it's like in the Matrix. Oh, I'd rather just pretend and eat what's, good food. It's fucking horrible. It's fucking horrible. Check around, look up, and do it in different places, not just Google. Try Brave, DuckDuckGo. Try Brave. Look things up. Have they found, human meat in the food, stuff like that? Yep. It's to bring your vibe down to where they are. But if that's what they are, they eat humans, and you can eat them, you can cannibalize them without physically eating them because you're taking everything that's theirs. But whatever you're vibing at, you're a blood drinker or sick Satanist shit, then you're going to become just that. You're going to turn into a tick. You're going to turn into an animal. You're going to turn into a pig. Whatever it is that they're vibing at. These poor people and animals that they do this to. It's sick. How do you think you have homeless people? Their game is to put people on drugs. They want you in total misery, vibing real low, so that you either aren't aware that they're putting it in your food and drink, and then you don't even realize what's going on. You're sick, you don't know why. They do anything if it brings them money. So you have your drug pushers out there, they're doing anything they can to get people on their junk, because to them it's just making more money. Then whatever you vibe at, you don't understand. There's going to be people that are going to be disappearing and not coming back, at least not in human form. They can come back as and go through some horrible things. For the people that still want to eat meat kind of thing, it's, these poor animals have been going through it. People that, these shelters where they kill animals, cats and dogs. Who the fuck do you think you are? What is thou shalt not kill? Everyone needs to wake up to that. Thou shalt not kill. Period. Who wrote the Bible? History repeats itself. There's no coincidence. John Knox, who was Rasputin, okay, wrote the Geneva Bible, okay? And these people don't change because they have not healed. They haven't turned to God, and they have not healed. So they don't change, they get worse. Nero Caesar, do you realize all the things that he did? That's John Knox, Rasputin. Who else has he been? I mean, this guy that's, human trafficked me across state lines, and I've reported it each time, they've done nothing. Why? Why is that? Be careful about people because it's about them giving you narcissistic, what do they call that? The salad, I just said it earlier. But anyway, it's their bullshit line that they're feeding you, the illusion that they're giving. If you fall for it, you listen to the slander and the smear campaigns. They've got AI generate this and that, or they drug somebody and roofied them to where they don't know what the fuck happened, and they got pictures of them or something, and then they put it out there, and then they use AI CGI to make it look like they did this. They go around and show that, and people believe it and don't realize what happened. That karma falls on you. Then you're now taking on their karma. Why would you do that? You need to be very fucking aware. That's why you need the healing, which brings your frequency up. You need your heart light as a feather. If you do not have love, do you understand? You're just a clanging cymbal. It's like, that's the dead people, the zombies. They don't have love. Their hearts are waxed over cold. The bitterness. There can't be this bitterness, or you end up destroyed. And it can happen to your family line. Enough of the bitterness, enough of the hate, enough of the hearts just waxed over and cold and evil and hateful. Enough. It's the end of the church age. Do you know why? Who's been running the churches? Who's been running everything? Satan, Lucifer, Lilith. And I can't help it. I keep seeing, the real Baphomet as being, what's his damn name? Forgot. Rasputin, Nero, John Knox. The beast gave his power over to the second beast. The first beast gave his power to the second beast. The first beast would be John Knox. Second beast would be King James. I said it in one of my videos, I don't know where, but I had said that he was literally a Judas to this bloodline. This has got to stop. You can't have this anymore. These people will do anything to hide who and what they are because they are the worst. We can't have this going on, y'all. We have to stop. Something needs to happen to stop everything so that you wake up, so that you're aware. And if that's harsh words, words that, maybe hard to hear, well, thank God someone said them and it woke you up. Are you aware of what you're doing? Are you harming someone? Are you aware that you're doing it? Or are you falling in line with the lies and slanders and all that's out there? I mean, what is it about Rudolph? I don't know. Fucking red nose. Because the sunburn. But, which happens when you just have, living outside because everyone shuns you because of someone lying on you. Ain't that some shit? How many people have they done this to? And they've fallen by the wayside? Yeah, you can't trust people on drugs. I definitely agree. But does that mean that they're forced to live out in heat that dehydrates the living fucking shit out of you? That they make you constantly move from here, move from here, move from here. Well, you're dehydrated. Treating people like they're garbage. Who the fuck do these people think they are? And it's always businesses. Businesses, law officials, what side are you on? Law officials, it's protect and serve. Well, what are you protecting and serving? The interest and, the almighty dollar, that dollar more important in your life. Well, then when it comes to you, someone's going to put money above your life because that's what you did to someone else. Whether you were aware or not, doesn't matter. This is the point of waking people up to what the truth really is. Do you see what you're doing? Are you aware? That's why you got to heal your chakras, repent, turn to God, get rid of that bitterness. You hold on to that bitterness, you're going down. I mean, fuck the Titanic. You're going down worse than the Titanic and anything that's ever happened on this earth that you've ever heard. You don't get it. These people, you don't want to be a part of their group. As a matter of fact, you want to be the ones that's telling on them, But you need to repent to God, say sorry, and keep doing it until it's... Crying is cathartic, and it helps to bring your heart back online. There's certain things that you can do. Green is, like your color of the heart. Yeah, I used to have all kinds of muscles, y'all. These people have demolished me, y'all. But that's what they do, so they can take it for themselves. I mean, White Rapper Boy don't even look like he used to look. Go look up Francis de Medici. That's White Rapper Boy. You can see that when you see that picture. There's a picture of me. Yeah, you can't deny it. Tsar Nicholas, that's, my Uncle Creepy. Tsar Nicholas' wife, Alexandra, that's my mother. It's like crazy. Same person now, today, the descendant. She's still doing the same kind of shit. And what was it they did back then? They got Rasputin supposedly to help Alexei, which that's also still Francis de Medici. He keeps popping up as some sibling. Oh, God. But, they got all fucked up with Rasputin. Rasputin's a predator, child molester. But I don't care who and what you are, you have to repent. He didn't want to. It's up to you to save yourself. Someone else is not going to do it for you. But thank God for the people that do say what needs to be said, because it might be saving people's lives and their entire bloodline. These sins that are committed, it affects everyone. Okay? So, God is about saving bloodlines. Hopefully someone in the bloodline will go through all the steps and do what they got to do. It can be hard, I know, especially when you've got a whole entire cult and coven, and multiple of them all together coming after you. Ain't that some shit? Try fighting that. We have multiple people out here. They're making, these channels No, and they hardly like got any views and shit like that. Oh, come on, y'all. You're looking for the ones that are hidden. You're looking for the ones that are hidden. You know? These people have been through some horrific shit. And they've got people, you know, this whole cults and covens and all this stuff, smear campaign, doing everything they can to stop them because they're telling the truth. Why would people be, you know, slandering them every which way that they can and smearing their life? Because they're telling the truth. And it's not so good for the people that are saying it. Those that scream the loudest, they have the most to hide. Okay? We have people that came out pretending that they were someone they were not because it's about the false narrative, the fake fucking stories. Oh, and it was said that they had a fake file on Rumpty. Well, it wasn't on him. It was on the people they attacked. I'm one of them. Fake file, fake bullshit. They violate HIPAA law. It doesn't matter. There's no law that means anything to them. Oh, I can't, it's on this phone. I can't pull up on the other phone. That other phone's, anyway, I've got to get a new phone. This one's not, you know, stuck to any service or anything. But, it's the 30 basic human rights. I would love to like pull it up and read it, but oh shit, this is getting a little long. But that's so important, okay? God, I would love to read that. But you look at, I'm gonna post it. I'll probably post it in the comments as long as I don't forget. And cause I've got to eat and drink something, y'all. But I'm gonna post in the comments, and I may post it in the post, community post. You really need to look at the community post, y'all. But this is the 30 basic human rights. So anybody, anywhere. So you've got this resident, Rumpty, as I say, hamster hairstyle piece, you know, the fucked up hair. I mean, if you were to take these 30 basic human rights, that would change everything in every county, state, everything, and as far as other countries. But he's lying on these countries, and everyone else has got to go along with his lies. I mean, you have all these musicians throwing up the devil horns. White rapper boy. No one says anything bad about him. Why? Who's his daddy? Samuel. Okay? And who's his mom? Lilith. Lilith is my mother. Yeah, she's not my past life. That wasn't like my life I was living. It's like I just don't want nothing to do with her. But I have to forgive and let go of it so that I'm not holding on to that bitterness, that hate and anger. You pray and ask for that healing, for that, you know, help me to forgive so you don't have that bitterness hanging on you. If you get your heart light as a feather, well, that changes everything. Okay? You can absolutely manifest abundance, wealth. It depends on how far you want to go. You gonna want to work, or you just, you know, being paid to exist? What is it you want? You really have to think about this, because those that go through more, you're gonna have a better wisdom, a better inner standing, which would be within. And a lot of times I'll say understanding, but I mean inner standing. That's like a whole new thing to start with all over again. But you know, eventually we'll all get there, okay? But comprehension, all right? To have that comprehension and that wisdom changes everything. Then you have the ability to really bring in wealth. And the ones that do bring in wealth, they have certain roles that they are to do. God knows what he's doing. You either trust God or you don't, okay? But when you go through this journey, you learn. You learn to trust. You learn what this means, But I've been through it, y'all. Like, well, what the heck do they mean about that? Because you'll hear a lot of things just said over and over again. I'm like, okay, I'm autistic. That, you know, clarify. So people, how many people out there are autistic, ADHD, and they say neurodivergent, stuff like that? How many people are, and people don't know? Well, depends on if you've had any, how can I put this? If you've had anything that they like to give you, like they were pushing, like with the, you know, wasn't it 2020? The whole worry about this of a, you know, flu vid thing, right? They, oh, I have no problem saying it straight out, but they want to keep me from, posting stuff. I'm being attacked there. Don't you just love TikTok? Yeah, I mean, there's no coincidence. I say things for reasons, but these people give me blood clots. I've had the blood clots in my body. I've had them run through my heart from one side to the other. I've had them in my brain. I've had mini strokes in my brain. They've done all kinds of damage to me. They've poisoned me my whole entire life. I was taken as a baby. Taken, sold, kidnapped, whatever. I end up not with my family. What a nightmare. But here's the thing. You can wake up, realize what's going on, and move on in your life. And that's, you can manifest what it is you want. You tell the universe and you keep at it. You just don't quit. You keep going, keep going, keep going. Because it's a matter of you healing so that you're able to see everything. I mean, I've been attacked voraciously, and my problem was being dehydrated and blood sugar problems, and no one giving a shit. And like blaming me for it. Well, you won't work in our wage cage slave earner jobs. You could be doing so much more. There is this thing right here. You can do video channels. You can make money. Just keep going. If there's people that are holding you back, it's because you got some major ass truths that they do not want out there. But all of a sudden, but God, that's the point. Have faith and believe. No matter what, don't stop, don't quit, as long as you're doing the right thing, okay? You gotta have integrity. You can't be wishy-washy. And, it may take you a little bit, but you'll get there. You will get there. This is about changing the world, a whole new world for everyone, instead of people having to sleep outside, freeze to death, be ate alive by mosquitoes. Like, who wants to give that to someone? Be completely dehydrated in the heat during the day, all because they need, to collect on their insurance policy on you, so they can lie and say that they married you when you're like, what? Yeah, I'm getting something like, he did something like that in order to steal money from me, something to do with the, will, inheritance, whatever. I mean, I've apparently received some inheritances, which I would have had land and a home, or some land and home, or whatever it is. They steal everything. And I was never told, okay? The last one with I say not mother, because she grew up being told she was my mother, and she wasn't. But when she died, I'm pretty sure she was seeing what was going on. I wasn't even there. I was here being attacked and drugged and raped. But that's okay. No, it's not. It's not okay. Him going around telling people we're in some kind of relationship. No, he's got entity attachment, like darkness. Anyway, y'all, but these people will do this stuff. You still have to fight. You still keep going, regardless of what's going on. You keep going until finally somebody listens, because it's a matter of them waking up too, apparently. But y'all got to be careful what you put your attention on. You're always got your head in the TV. Well, you're in the matrix. They've got your brain, and it's pulled into the matrix. Pull it out. Get out in nature. Listen to music, but start listening to some instrumental stuff, some different stuff. That doesn't necessarily mean classical. Go listen to Two Steps from Hell. Okay, that's just an example. They have frequency music that's healing to your chakras. Oh my God. It will help you. Okay, you either want to help yourself or you just, don't. Get off the drugs, and you can manifest that. Manifest it and pray about it. Pray that you want to be able to get off it without all the, ill effects. They have things that help. Why is it when they have things that help that it's not legal everywhere, such as the cannabis, whether it's CBD or marijuana? Fucking get over it, y'all. You can't die from it. That's the stupidest thing ever. Illuminati, Freemasons, all them, they hate it. Why? Because it's so healing. Other plants are healing. You know, you're in America. The Native Americans knew about the plants. They knew about a number of things. They knew about spirituality. You know, there's good things in the Bible because these fuckers plagiarized it. They stole it. You know, it said it was translated. Yeah, it was translated, or it was plagiarized. That's what they do. You know, serpents can't create. All they can do is steal. All they can do is steal. So you really need to have that awareness. And Lord, I mean, that's been a big manifestation of mine. Not only did I want to take down a cult coven, you know, these wicked Satanists, it was also for people to wake up and be able to truly come to God and see things the way they really are, to get out of this bitterness and the, you don't want to be hating people. You don't really hate people. It's literally the negativity that's on them because of things that have happened from a long time ago. This has been going on for a long time, folks. So it's a bit to get out of. But you've had people, think of them as pioneers, that have already gone through this and can help others. You don't think God knows what he's doing? Yes, he does. Trust and believe and you will see. And look, they plagiarized, so you don't think they put anything in there that was wrong? That they left certain words out, or they twisted this or twisted this in order to make it go the way they wanted it to go. God never put man as leader, y'all. The man is leader of himself, the woman is leader of herself, but you've got to have both of the masculine and feminine energies within. It took a man and woman to make you. That's undeniable. Okay? So you've got to have the masculine and feminine energies balanced within you. That helps. You do that with the chakras. That's being really healed, y'all. All right, this is long enough, so I gotta go, y'all. I post when I can. It's just a matter, do I have electricity? Do I have this, that, the... That's how it goes. You know? But at least if you go off in the woods, if no one knows where you're at, you know, like the poison you, stuff like that, at least you're not being poisoned. But that's their big game plan. They love it to have someone dehydrated. If they're dehydrated, and they use plants to do it and stuff, poisonous plants, and they can fuck up your blood sugar levels, they can make you look like you're not all there. Because, you know, just look at the symptoms, you know. If you look at the symptoms, you can figure out what it is, instead of, you know, you have this government that wants to sit there and say, oh, well, you're this, so we're going to take that. You're this, so we're going to take that. You don't have that right. Literally what you do to others. You're telling the universe, this is what I want to manifest for myself. So if you're being horrible to somebody, you're stealing from somebody, you're manifesting it for yourself. You literally are. So if you have discernment, intuition, wisdom, if you've been through a lot of shit, because it helps you to see. That's why the people that have, say, like high purpose and stuff like that, you've been through a lot. So a lot of these people have been through a lot. They could just heal, and then what? They'd be like someone that's high purpose too. They'd have a lot of wisdom if they just heal. You know, you have to look at things in a different perspective. Don't be afraid of tarot. You know, it says in the Bible, you know, about divination. Everyone just believes everything literally. Yeah, no way could that have ever been messed up with. Lucifer's daddy is Samael. They could heal if they wanted to. It would take a lot. They just need to repent and keep going, healing, return anything they stole. It's a karmic debt, and you have to get rid of that karmic debt. You steal anything, take it. You still kill and destroy. You've got to make amends. You can't let someone, you know, do this destiny swap with you. You have to fight back. Stand up and against oppression. Change this world so we can have kids that are safe, that they don't get snatched, that they don't do wars of anything, weather, a fire, this or that. You know, they cause disasters so they can come in and, oh, these kids disappear, oh, this happened, you know, excuse of this, that, blame this person, blame that person, when it's them. When it's them. You know, when they help out with voting and they're putting certain people in certain places by getting dirt on them and making them do what they want. Yeah. I mean, I know because that's Uncle Creepy. I've sat there and watched it. In prisons, that's their people zoo, y'all. They make money off of that. Thou shalt not kill. Repent. If you've killed anything, you need to repent for it. You do not need to eat meat to survive. I haven't eaten meat in a long time. Matter of fact, it helps you with your, you know, your youth. You look younger. It's up to you, y'all. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want to manifest? It does mean you will make some changes, but what do you want? Truly. What is your dreams? Do you remember your dreams as a child? Maybe something happened that, you know, they wanted you to forget. Why? Ask yourself why. All right, y'all. I gotta go. Love you guys. Take care and God bless.